right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the B3 Podcast. I'm your host, Brett. We got Matt GPT and Tanner, the comeback kid. We got our show partners, Elite Nutrition. Check them out, elitenutritionomaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off. You go to the store in Omaha, Lincoln, yell B3.
Get a free shaker.
And also 10% off.
Yeah.
Rosewood Block to make the best cutting boards and barbecue, fully customizable. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off there. And go to D&D Beef and get some beef for the cutting boards. They're local to Omaha, but they ship nationwide. Check them out. dndbeef.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off also. And Omaha Bardwell. Just come hang out.
You had an article written about you.
There's been a couple. This one was actually like pleasant though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made Reddit before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What'd they say? Your meatloaf was bad?
No, we did have a bad review on our meatloaf that we don't have. No, there was a whole Reddit thread that we were racist against Asian people.
Oh, yeah, from them. That's fine.
Yeah. When it was from a kid who, the only encounter I had with him was that I told him he couldn't yell at his girlfriend behind the gym. Yeah.
I'm on a Facebook thread right now.
Are we dating the same guy?
Are we the protest this business? We're apparently big MAGA supporters and ICE supporters, and you should protest us. Oh. I have not had anyone protest it yet. I mean, I have some people that maybe have not come in. I don't know. But
maybe they were going to come protest, but they went to the vape shop next door instead.
Maybe. They got distracted.
Yeah.
Like shiny vapes.
Yeah. That
or like
totally
I like
happened.
to call douche flutes.
Yeah. There's like a culture of new lifters that don't think old lifters know anything. You guys notice this?
There's a culture of new people who don't think any people, especially old people, know anything. It is like it is this young 20s. Like they just, and maybe it's always been that way.
I think it's always been that
but
way.
It's like you try and talk to somebody about something, and they're like, unless it came from fucking TikTok, right?
Yeah. And well, that's where I was going to go. Some of that problem, I think, goes to the idea that, you know, if you don't have like a current total on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, that you don't know anything that you're talking about. And it kind of goes, I had someone ask me about having Ed out for another seminar. And I said, I don't know how many people, like these like newer age lifters, would come out for it.
Yeah.
Because I think they look at it like, well, he hasn't had a total in how many years? What's he know about lifting? And it's kind of funny because I was talking about some of that with somebody, and then Dorian Yates was just on the Huberman podcast, and he's just like roasting everybody about training on there. Like I posted one about him talking about science-based training. He's like, there's no science. He's like, there's no even science behind what they're saying. He's like, you still have to push the body to do things. I mean, lifting is lifting to an extent, right? It hasn't changed that much. There's been some different machines, some different bars, some different apparatuses, whatever, but the theory behind it's all the same.
Well, I've said this for a long time. The beauty about weightlifting is that everything works, depending on where you're at. You know what I mean? If you come in and you've never done shit and you do reps of 5 or 50, I bet you change.
Right.
If you stick with it. Like, I bet you get stronger. I bet you build muscle. Like, I bet your body changes as long as you're like, stick with it.
Yeah, it's funny. They'll call it like science-based training, but it's like, what are you basing it on?
Studies.
But what studies? What are you studying? The newest guy with the most current total? Or are you studying the people who had longevity in the sport? Because then people like Ed or like a Dorian Yates or somebody like that who won multiple times, wouldn't that be who you studied?
Well, so sorry, Matt.
No, go ahead.
I feel like science-based training, and I feel like pretty much anything to do with the studies, it's the interpretation of data. Someone finds some new piece of data, or they do a study, and they don't they don't go in depth in the study. They just take a couple results and then they try and extrapolate it out to a new thing, right? And the reason for doing so is they want to be relevant. And to be relevant, you have to come up with something new or you have to have some study. But any of these muscle studies, right? First off, 90+% of them are done on untrained people because no one who's like seriously training is going to stop their training for 12 weeks and only do bicep curls and tricep pushdowns to see what happens on different rep schemes for your arms. You know, and once again, at any of those, anyone that's untrained is going to have a change. But but like I said, like they're all on untrained people. I don't think the studies are bad necessarily. I think they can lead you to good information, but I think some of them take them like gospel. Like they don't like, well, who is your study group? How long was it for? Like,
Honestly, I think that's what made Westside so unique is that he was doing these, basically testing on these guys that were already like elite level powerlifters.
well, and it was testing based on actual functional, like they were elite level. They had data as far as being stronger, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't do muscle biopsies and it wasn't controlled and they all didn't do the same thing. So it can't be a study, right? Like it can't be a study, but like any of us who have common sense will know.
Experiments.
Yeah, it's experiments. But for them, it was like kind of proof is in the pudding. Like what was the stat at one point in time? They had like, if West Side was a country and they competed against the world, they would have won in powerlifting.
Well, yeah, they had the majority of the 800+ pound squatters in the world.
Yeah.
Either trained out of there or were affiliated with it. And that's a prime example too, is he went back and found all the old stuff that like the Soviets did back in the day to get his guys better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he brought in some of his own new things, you know what I mean? But he didn't like come up with like when he brought in bands and chains and stuff like that. Like bands were like new to using, but the idea of accommodating resistance was not new. He just found a different way to use it.
Right.
But yeah, I just find that it's very strange when you talk to people. They're just like, they don't want to hear what you have to say because you don't have like a current total. But like I've been around and seen some stuff. I've seen some really good people lift and train. And I just think, I don't know. I think in a lot of lifters, there's a lot of wasted movement, a lot of wasted time.
Well, some of them, one of the things that I think is kind of crazy about this new group of powerlifters.
And they're all strong. Don't get me wrong. They're all fucking strong. I can't say like what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
Completely. Yeah.
To me, it's wild how little they do besides their lifts.
Oh, the lack of accessory movements.
Yeah. Like they're super strong at those 3 lifts, but then like you get them on any other lift and they're not.
Yeah.
Like and I guess that's their sport, right? Be good at your sport. But to me, it like strength is different. To me, it's like,
well, like I feel like it used to be if you were strong, you were just like kind of strong at everything.
Yeah, like if you were strong at deadlifting, then you could go pick up shit. You know, anything. It didn't have to be a bar at a perfect level with your belt in the exact right spot and
like the old school strongman competitions.
Yeah, you just fucking walked
like,
up.
Hey, bend this rebar. Okay, now sumo wrestle. Okay, now carry this fridge.
Well, yeah, or just like even stuff like we talk about like the grip stuff. Like you could just, you know what I mean? We could like you just from training, you would have like a good grip.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You could just go do whatever. So,
but like when you're like a power lifter who can like deadlift 700 pounds and can only do like 2 pull-ups, like
I think you're really throwing shade at a lot of people.
Your words are hurtful.
I'm just saying, like a lot of people who like doesn't matter how big you are. Like I've seen some big freaking dudes.
Oh yeah,
like heavy that can like knock out like they look anything to do with strength. They like you're looking at them like, oh, okay. And then like anything to do with strength, you're like, oh, that dude's an athlete.
Yeah.
That dude's an athlete. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's something I've kind of thought about. Like I said, it was good that Dorian Yates was on Huberman and kind of talking about it. But a lot of people probably don't know who Dorian Yates is either because he hasn't won for a while.
yeah.
No,
But-
but I also would do like how, like, I don't know many of like the classic era bodybuilders, or like I remember like looking at strongman, like I barely remember Kazmaier, but I only remember, like, I don't remember seeing him compete, but like everyone who I watched talked about him. So you do start to get some separation. And so even like the people now don't talk about Ed. So if they're not talking about Ed, like I don't really blame them for not knowing too much about it unless they really claim to be like serious lifters.
But I think the point is that, let's just say you didn't know who Ed was.
Yeah.
Right. But then like you come and you're like, or like there's a seminar, you're like, Google him. Then you're like, oh, this guy was
Oh
really
shit,
fucking
yeah.
good.
Yeah, why are they having this guy do a seminar? Oh shit.
But then like I think the mindset today is like, well, he's like,
Yeah, what does he
he's-
know about new training?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's my thing. Like, and I don't think there's no such thing as new training, right?
Someone's done it.
Nobody's reinventing the wheel. You know what I mean? Like I said, Westside did stuff from like the Soviets back in the day. Like you're not showing him something. You know what I mean? That's new.
But it wasn't new for him. I mean, it wasn't like he was using old stuff.
Yeah,
He had just modernly adapted. And I think that's what some people try and do. I think the whole like science-based lifting is based on trying to take old and then put it with like new data. I just think they miss the point sometimes because it's hard to get good data on athletes, on trained individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to know what's going to work. And I think everything fucking works. Like I've seen literally people that never do more than 2 reps, strong as shit. You know what I mean? People who do higher reps, strong as shit. Like everything works if you stick with it.
Yeah, and like even listening, like we were talking about different like different setups. One of the things he talked about in there was talking about basically he trained like Mike Menser, where he only trained like 3 days a week, and he was only in the gym for like 45 to 60 minutes. Mm-hmm. And he won the Mr. Olympia like how many times? Like
I think his training is probably more akin to like Westside, where like most people could not do real Westside training. Like they would never laugh at Westside.
Well, but you don't want the intensity.
Right. Like they can't handle the intensity mentally or physically.
Right.
Like they'll just break, where like Dorian could do that. Like he had the mental capacity to like push himself to actual physical failure.
Yeah, because they would do that one set of failure basically.
Yeah. But he would fail at all 3 points, right? Like, so he's doing a bench, he would fail. Like, he would do, like, the full bench motion, fail at that, and then he would fail at the concentric and the eccentric. Like, he failed at all different points. So, like, there really was nothing left in the tank.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the intensity. I think that's the thing, too, is from going to Westside. I mean, it's just the atmosphere. What made Westside what it was, I mean, the training was obviously worked, but it was also the environment. Mm-hmm. Which I think a lot of people now, you don't see a lot of people train together. Like there's a difference between sharing a rack and squatting next to somebody on a different rack. Because then there's like no excuses. Because you're using the same bar, same weights, same rack. You know what I mean? So then you just go head to head against each other in training all the time. If you're on a different rack, you can always in your head be like, oh, well, he's got this bar, or he's got these weights, or his rack doesn't do this or that. But this usually doesn't happen very often anymore.
Yeah. But if you train in a group, like it's cool because you'll have people, like you might not all be the same, but you'll be like close enough in some lifts that you get to compete directly with someone else, which is really fun.
And
like when we were training stuff together, like we were pretty close in a lot of the movements. And so it was really like when we did any kind of max effort, it was really whoever went second was the one who had the advantage.
Yeah.
So we would like talk about, hey, did you go first last time? Nah, I went first last time. All right, so I go first. So you go first this time. Because like whoever goes second, like you know what the standard is. Like, oh shit, Brett failed on 6.
It's the old, how many did you do? One more than you.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
One more than you.
Yeah, I don't care if it costs me my spine. One more than you.
and then if he got you in something, then you were trying to get him in the next.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The next thing, it's like, oh cool, well, you got that. Well, you just burned out a whole bunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the kids that are strong could be even stronger.
I mean, a lot of these kids are freaking strong as shit.
Oh yeah,
Like they are. Like,
yeah. I'm not saying that what they do doesn't work. I'm just saying that I think that you can learn a lot from other stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, don't look past other opportunities that are out there.
It may take you to another level.
Yeah.
And understand that you have an advantage because you have access to all this information that other people have done.
Yeah. And just because you're strong doesn't mean there's not someone stronger than you.
Right.
There's always
someone stronger than you, except for
Always.
Brian Shaw, and then you were the strongest in the world.
But now, has anybody like? I guess have his numbers been beaten? Like World Strongest Man's kind of a weird thing. You know what I mean? Because
It's
there's
really-
like records there, but it's like
If you've watched World's Strongest Man, you understand that they like never do the same thing twice.
no, but
Like they may do a yoke carry, right? But then like one time it's with a car, the next time is with refrigerators, and other time it's with some weird apparatus they came up with. So
well, and like we talked about, they can kind of determine who's going to win based on the events they choose.
yeah,
You know, if it's like, you know, if they have a bunch of moving events versus a bunch of static events, and they can kind of pick the winner.
I think they usually do a good job of having static events, moving events. I think what comes down to it a lot of times with strongman is some type of like deadlift-ish motion or some type of press motion, right? If they get a little press heavy, I think it eliminates some people because some people are really strong, but they're not great pressers. And then other people are great at like just like brute strength, like deadlift stuff, but they're, you know, but they can't do, maybe they don't move great. So I think you're right. Like there are times where you think the event's set up for somebody, but that's also how you get somebody who kind of came out of freaking nowhere and wins. Like Alexei Novikov. I mean, not that he was like completely unknown, but he was fairly unknown when he won.
Yeah. What was I had something I was saying? I can't remember now.
Just freaking train went right off the rails.
I don't know.
I don't know either now.
It'll come to you in a few minutes and you'll just blurt it out like you have Tourette's.
Yeah, it was some of the strongman guys because it's you can gear it very different ways.
You were talking about they can set it up to win for somebody to win.
Yeah, which I mean, if you have somebody who can, and it used to be, I guess I was saying, and you know, they always used to end with stones, but I think deadlift's gotten such popularity. I feel like they use deadlift way more than they do stones now. That's where I was kind of going with that. I think was what I was going to say. I don't feel like I see stones as much as I see like the elephant bar deadlift.
Oh, I see a lot of stones. Usually it's the last event.
But like I've been playing like some of the Rogue Invitationals in here,
Yeah.
and I feel like you don't see a lot of stones.
Oh, I don't think I've seen any stones on Rogue.
Yeah,
But the world's strongman usually ends with that ladder.
The
Yeah.
head, right?
Yeah.
Because when we watched, they did the circus dumbbell head to head the other day.
Yeah.
See, and I think some of that stuff is kind of a cooler way to end. I mean, stones are fun, but I just feel like the deadlift's gotten to be such a popular lift.
You think it's because people can relate, like people understand the deadlift more than they do. Like not many people have access to a stone to pick up. Most people have access to a deadlift.
Well, there's that, and I think that like we're looking at a lot of the, and not that it was. I mean, everybody's always talked about it, but even especially the new age powerlifters, you don't hear everybody ask how much you bench. It's what's your deadlift or what's your squat. You know what I mean?
Finally, yeah, take that, Ron.
Yeah, but yeah, but you know what I mean. So it's like I think you hear more. I think so. Bringing the deadlift to light and using it in almost every event, I feel like, is because everybody's deadlift has gotten tremendously more popular.
It's also a super giant pain in the ass to do as an event.
Yeah, well, especially the elephant bar.
Huh?
The deadlift or the stones?
Deadlift.
It's a pain in the ass.
Oh,
More so
man.
than the stones.
Oh yeah, like when you're doing like an event, like when we like the thing that took us the longest last year was fucking deadlift, and it's a fucking chore. Like it's a chore.
Yeah, well,
Like
then-
stones, like all right, push the stone back, reload it, let's go. Like it's not that hard. Like even if they're up on the thing, you just roll it off and onto the mat. Like deadlift, it's like you're going through and you're
Dude, you gotta take
reload weight
weights
or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even if you do like the rising bar, it's like you're just sitting there like, who wants to
Well,
go?
part of it is I think the athletes stand around not knowing what they're going to do when you're like, 200, who wants it, or whatever, who wants it. You know what I mean? It turns into like I don't know, what are you going to do?
I missed my weight.
Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Well, we had a guy miss his weight last year. I was like, oh, why don't you just try this one? He got it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll give you a minute.
Yeah.
Give you a minute but like we already passed.
Yeah, we are. We're not going back.
So here you go.
So you could
I
do
was like,
this, or you could
I
be
think
done.
you're good. He got it. He was good.
I was like, when they ask you, what do you think? I don't know. I think the last one looked like you almost died, but you went after, you went after that one. So
Yeah, so why stop now?
yeah. But that's just kind of my thoughts on the state of lifting.
I really just think it is probably always that way. It's probably always been this way, but I think it's a state of like generation.
Yeah.
Like they see everything they see is online. Like they have access to so much more information. We've talked. You had to get magazines, right? I remember every morning I had like woke up and fucking went to the sports section and looked at box scores. Like none of these kids have ever picked up a newspaper to look at a box score, because they can just Google it real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an app on your phone that you open up. It's like, boop. Oh, right there.
Yeah. Oh, there's the score of the game. Like there's access to everything. And they just think that like anyone who like isn't, 25 and on TikTok doesn't know shit.
Yeah, I guess that's part that bothers me. There's knowledge out there. You know what I mean? Like if we got magazines, but if we could have talked to that person or seen that person in person or heard that, I would have watched or listened to what they had to say.
The crazy thing is, and there's like a little push to go back and like for people to buy DVDs. And the reason why is that literally nobody owns anything today.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's like a photo album. Nobody has photo albums anymore either.
But at least the photos are on your phone.
Well, but
yes. But
if an EMP hits, you can't see your family anymore.
Yeah.
So fucking dramatic.
Oh, no, they're gone. The worldwide EMP.
Yeah.
But no one owns anything. Like no one can go back and grab it. You have to go back to like search. And if you don't have internet, like
Yeah, like you can't find your music and you can't find movies. Like
you have nothing.
you have to stream everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you own nothing. So apparently, like there's a push to go back and buy DVDs. But actually, we were talking. The worst thing that happened to these kids is that they didn't have the Blockbuster experience because that was fun. Blockbuster was fun.
Because you go through and you could see the movie that you wanted, but it's not on the shelf.
Right.
Don't
So then you
have it.
start like walking around and like looking, but like going to like to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or whatever on like a Friday night to get a movie was like,
Yeah, that was great.
it was fun. Yeah. Like these, now you just sit around and I don't know. How many, does this happen to anyone else where you're like scrolling through Netflix and you have watched like 27 trailers over the course of like
100%.
45 minutes and fucking turned nothing on it? Just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I spent all my watching time looking at trailers, trying to find something to watch, and I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta go.
Yeah. So I can go to Blockbuster, walk around. They have like 97 boxes of the movie you wanted, but no copies behind it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and like Borders or Barnes and Noble is building more places because like books are coming back.
Well, I think people want to have something
You
in
want
there.
like the tactile feel of like
Doing the physical book and turning the pages and
People go back and like look at it. Like if you and I do a lot of Audible. So like I do a lot of, but you can't go back and highlight it. Actually,
Right,
you can.
like,
You can in the app. You can actually highlight things, but it's just different.
Yeah.
Like you don't own it.
right.
reading on your phone is hard though. Like it's not.
Like Aaron has a Kindle, and I tried to read a little bit on that. Like
Does she have the one that's like the paper one, or it's
Yeah.
the Amber has that too?
I mean, it looks nice. It's a lot better. Like some of the first generations were like super bright. It was like trying to read a book on your laptop
Yeah, all the glare and all that shit on it.
and stuff. But no,
And what am I talking about? I don't like to read anyway, so I don't.
I agree. I'm like
I can watch a video and learn all kinds of shit.
I just find like most books, most nonfiction books, could be like a third the size. That they
Yes, the first like fucking 100 pages is always the same thing.
are. Yeah. So I'm like, I think I mentioned it before. Like I listen to those at like 1.5, 2x, and then
I
we'll,
don't know.
like,
Yeah.
Well, hear something that sounds kind of interesting, stop, go back, listen to it again. And then if like there are parts in there that I legitimately like and I wanted to learn more about, then I'll go and I'll buy the actual book so I can spend time reading it and like mark stuff in there. But yeah, it's just,
Yeah, it's always just like, oh, this is a windy Thursday when I started this. And I'm like,
Right.
dude, just skip to the part I want to know. How did you create it? Like, Fuck, that's why I just go to a video and you can just fast forward, especially now that it tells you like what the section is.
Timestamps and stuff.
Oh man, it's way better. But yeah, I think even like when talking about different videos, like some of the, like, I guess my big push is if you're out there and you're just training and you think it's only new shit, go out and watch. Like Louis pioneered a lot of stuff for Westside, and no, they were not all on roids. Everybody at Westside, and not everybody lifted geared at Westside either. Plenty of raw, drug-free people got strong, but he was like, he put everything out there. There's so many good videos he has out there that he explains what he's doing. He didn't hide anything. The only thing that he didn't hide it. The only thing that he can't give you is the atmosphere at Westside. Yep. But he's got so many good videos and clips out there, and him doing Q&A, like, and he'll just break everything down real quick. And then he goes on a bit of a tangent about somebody else's numbers from 1975, and he can tell you everything.
He does tangent a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In person, it was way better because he's like not, like you're face to face with him.
Did you listen to his Rogan episode?
Yes.
He would have been canceled.
And he wouldn't have cared.
I know.
That guy hoped to be canceled.
Yeah.
Did not care.
That was actually when Rogan went to Westside.
Yeah.
Instead, like Rogan never.
Because, yeah, Louis doesn't leave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a great episode. Hilarious.
And Rogan the whole time is just like,
He's like,
what?
what the fuck? You did what?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot to learn. And I'm not saying the new people don't have anything to learn. Like, they can't teach any of the old dogs new tricks. I'm not saying that either. But
more information flows both ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what's different than what we did.
I think there's too much hyper focus on, specifically on like the science-based lifting is like, oh, well, this person said this study did this, like it maximized, I don't know, my bicep contraction. So that's the only way to do it. And they get super hyper focused on that and just forget about like, there's a lot of ways, like you said, Tanner, like there's so many different ways to do that. Like, yes, in this one study, when they took muscle biopsy, there was the most muscular trauma at the, you know, the bottom end range, whatever it was. So theoretically, yes, that did create the most muscular trauma, which should lead to the most muscular development, but probably on not highly trained individuals, and you're looking at a very finite thing. So like, don't take that as like the only way.
Well, I don't know if you guys, there's a gym down in like Texas where, I mean, like Larry Wheels and some other people have been there. I can't remember what it's called, but they like, their training is just like absolutely asinine. Like do like 100 reps.
Yeah, the big black dude just yelling at everyone. He's always mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And like some of it's like,
Diamond.
yes. And then like some of it's like partial reps. I'm like, well, like science wise, like this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Right.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but he's pretty fucking big and strong. So I maybe listen, like, you know, but I think part of it is that it's also for me, like, and like if someone is telling me something and they're like a scrawny little nerd and they're telling me all this science, I'm like, well, you don't lift weights. You know what I mean? Like if you want to talk to me about nuclear physics, I'm all ears. But like I want to see, like, you better look the part. Is to me, like if you're gonna come out with all this, like you better be fucking strong. Like don't tell me about science-based lifting.
Well, you know, there
strong.
are some people who don't look like they lift and are fucking super good with stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, don't get up there and show me like your total is. I'm not even gonna throw a total out there as I want to piss somebody off, but like your total, like, okay, well, like, I'm gonna listen to someone else. I'm gonna listen to Louis, who was squatting like 800 pounds after he broke his back. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like that's it, when he was like 50 or something, like wild.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to learn from. I mean, like I said, a lot of people, like, especially going back to Ed. And Ed's just very simple when he teaches people. He has very simple things to fix things.
He's a great coach. Like,
yeah.
Great hands-on coach.
Well, and I've watched a lot of videos from him, and it's not the same cookie cutter thing. That's another thing that I think science-based lifters get in, is that everything's the same.
Yeah.
Like, this is the way to do it. And I was watching a video with Ed where he like cued 3 different people in like 3 different ways, and for like, and they weren't the same. Like they were all in different positions. It's like, well, okay, well, it's like in his head, well, you're in that position. This is where you feel you're the strongest. So I'm going to fix that position. Like there are times where you're just, you know, you can't do it from there. But it, like different stances, different like where your feet are at, like shoulder width, a little bit narrow, a little bit. Well, like he wasn't like nitpicking all this stuff. Like it has to be this way. It was like he fixed everyone individually, and you don't get that when you're just like a science based. Like when you're so science based. Well, your feet should be here because this is your power. This is where you're the most power. You know.
Yeah.
Like everyone's
Right.
the
Like
same.
in general, sure. You like huge populations. If you told everyone to do it that way, you're probably going to have the most success. But like, you've got to experiment around, like, and try different stuff to see like what feels the best for you and what gives you the best result.
Look, do you guys like? If you ever watch golf, which I'm probably the only one that does, but
I take a lot of golf naps.
do you?
Yeah, that's good.
But like, if you watch golf, you end up with like you can watch 100 different golfers, and there's 100 different swings. Mm-hmm. It's just like at the end of the, did you get the club square on the ball? Like,
Right.
doesn't matter what happened in between.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think and some of these guys, I watch some of these guys compete. You see different videos and people, and I'm like, you had way more in the tank. Why didn't you lift more?
Yeah, you mentioned that the other day. Like, some of the guys at the meet were like, hey, they were super pumped that they went 9 for 9.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, that's great to go 9 for 9, but like, why not go with all you got? You can't always be like, oh, well, you know, there's this other meet. You know, sure, there's another meet, but maybe there's not.
Right.
You could get hurt. I mean, you go back to, we talked about like Luke Edwards, the guy that lifted at Westside. He didn't pull 900. He's like, I'll do it the next meet. Well, then he like went into like massive kidney failure, and he had to get like a transplant, and he's never been back to that weight again. I mean, I always feel like when you're on the platform, you got to take what you can get.
They're so, one of the things that's really good about them, about a lot of the like newer lifters, is that they're very regimented. Like they're always on program. Like I'll like some of the kids around here be like, hey, why don't you come over and try this? It's not my program. You know what I mean? Like,
What's a program?
yeah. But for me, like I don't know, it's probably been 15 years since like I PR'd when I was supposed to. You know, like maybe when I was around 30 sometime. Like I probably did. Like you got to a training program, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go for it this
is my
time.
PR, yeah,
and
yeah.
then you get it.
Yeah.
Now it's more like, oh, that felt good. Let's go. I don't know when that's gonna happen again. I don't know when I'm gonna feel good again. So you like go
Right.
for it.
Auto-regulating. Yeah. So, I mean,
But those are the super fun days, like when you have, like, I don't know, doing lots of stuff here. I mean, even that elephant bar, even though it cost me a bicep, like that was super fun.
yeah.
Like just random, like nowhere in my programming there. And I was like, yeah, I should deadlift. And he was like, hey, we're going to use the elephant bar. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Well, Brett got that new grip machine, and like it came in
Yeah.
the other night, and like the next morning, I'm like, oh, new grip machine.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
fucking, we ended up loading 4 plates on that thing. Like,
Yeah.
By the way, between 3 and 4,
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 to 3 wasn't bad. 3 to 4, dramatically different.
yeah.
But
What was the other one? Block.
but like, so I was going slow, right? Brett didn't know I was going, but I was just like trying to like test it out. And as soon as Brett gets on, he's like, this, like he's going like super fast. He's like, you pussy, you know, like. So what I do when we went to 3 plates, I was like, see, I can go fast too, like. But that's what you do when someone else is
Yeah.
training. Like you have to
Yeah.
talk shit and like
And
push
it's
yourself.
Super fun. So
Yeah.
much fun.
yeah, once we got to 4 plates, I thought my thumb might come off, though.
Yeah.
It really tested the tensile strength of that skin.
I think one of the other things, which I don't know, I can't speak to their mindset, but like, at least from my standpoint, if we're going and I fail at a weight and Brett goes for that weight and he gets that weight, I'm fucking jazzed. I don't know if people still say jazzed, but like that's cool. Like I'm like only mildly disappointed that like I didn't get that weight, but I'm also really excited that Brett got that weight.
Well, and then you might just say, hey, leave that on there. I'm gonna give it a
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go again. And I don't get it, but at least I tried it again.
Yeah. Failed twice.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch because then you're pushing that other person to get
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And that's why I think directly training with people can make people so much stronger. Not just next to, with, same rack, same bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally agree.
Because then there's no fucking, well, your rack was different or your bar was different. It's, you know.
I also think there's a huge fear of failing.
Yes, well, that's why they want to be 9 for 9, and it's okay. You can fail. Then, like, I was joking, say, if you went 9 for 9, you didn't push it.
Well,
It's like, when it's as an adult, if you haven't pooped your pants, you don't know your limits.
well, like all 9
I
for
know him.
Yeah.
all 9 for 9s aren't the same.
Yeah, if it was 9 for 9 and you got PRs on everything.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and you could tell like it was the end.
Yes.
Like you called perfect numbers, and it was like, well, there wasn't another pound there, but it's really disappointing when you're like, oh, I had like 25 more pounds in my
Yeah.
total.
Because
When the third moves like the first, and you're kind of
like anything could happen before that next meet.
Yeah,
I mean, you could.
before the next time you lift.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could get in a car accident leaving that meet. You could tear a bicep. Anything could happen that throws your training way back. And you may never. And it depends on what kind of mental state you're in. Can you come back?
Right,
You know what I mean?
you could have a heart attack.
God, he really milks that fucking thing. Jesus. Oh, I benched you and I had a heart
it's
attack.
traumatizing.
Dude, I still outbench you.
He gets triggered. That's it.
No, you. every time I mention me benching more than you turn like a little more red. You're turning red right now. You're
Because
already.
I just
pissed.
laugh at him. Like, it's not even the same
Go
thing.
solve it right now, right after this.
I'll win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
because he tore a pec and he's fucking milking bad. A little partial tear.
I got this injury.
Yeah. Like I tell him, my heart is located right behind my bench muscle. It has to be connected.
It is a chest injury.
But I will tell you that one of the things that I thought about, like right after I had it, is like, I'm glad I got that fucking 300-pound strict press. You know what I mean? Like that would have been really, that would have really pissed me off. Like I hit like 295 and then like,
I'm not ready yet. I still got this overhead.
yeah.
Send me back.
No, and then he benched the other day and he's like, oh, I don't know. That's probably the most I've strained. I don't know if that was a good idea.
Yeah. I was like, that was more strain than I wanted. Because I was like, I've been trying to like push weight, but like keep the strain in a
Yeah.
certain like,
Yeah.
I like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Stay under the second heart attack threshold.
yeah. I wish there was a meter. At least like when you know, like you're like, oh, that bicep's not feeling really good. You know, like all this,
It
like,
gives you a little bit of warning.
yeah, like the warning isn't what I'm looking for. I need a
Like,
pre-warning.
all right, we're good. I still got more.
I'll like constantly like fucking check where's my heart rate at.
Well, that, with my pec in my head the whole time, I was like, man, for some reason I feel like I'm going to tear my pec today. That was like in my head, and I did.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
Like you could just see it on the video. You're like,
Yeah, I double dipped for sure. That would have gotten a red light.
Yeah.
Well, that's really all I had for today. Just,
just irritated with the youngsters.
No, not even irritated. I just think they can learn. Those kids, they're already they're so strong, and I think they could be even stronger.
I mean, there is an incredible amount of young strength.
Yeah, these kids are great and they're strong, but don't look past someone who's been doing it, because they can tell you how not to get fucked up.
Or they can be like, hey, this is how I've torn my pec twice.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Or hey, you're doing this and your knees or your back are doing this. You should do this.
Right. Like identifying the weak spots.
Yeah. You don't just keep training through, but it'll eventually get stronger. No, you'll get strong in that pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be learned from everybody. So,
Yeah.
that's all I have, though. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, I had a super funny dream I've been dying to tell you guys. It was great. So, in my dream, I go to take a leak. So I had to pee in real life. And so then when you have to pee in real life.
Did you pee in the bed?
No. But in my dream, I went to take a leak and I just took my dick off and set it on the edge of the toilet and then went to the kitchen and made something to eat while my dick peed for me. It was the fucking coolest thing.
That's weird.
All right, so now I have questions.
It wasn't a good dick. Even in my dream, I didn't give myself a big hog.
Oh, really?
I was disappointed when I woke up. I'm like, God, this is terrible.
So, was your dream two screens to where you could see your dick
I
peeing
could still
for
see
you?
my dick peeing
and
for
you
me,
were
yeah. And,
making a sandwich?
Yeah, and I was out here. Yeah.
So it was split screen.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a split screen
Okay.
kind of thing. But yeah, Like you just take it off. And then I went outside to pee and I dropped it in the snow. And then I had to like find it in the snow and I could like feel how cold the snow was. But my dick was laying in the snow. Like,
And you woke up and you had no blankets on you?
I was like, what the fuck? I woke up, I had to pee so bad. I was like, fuck.
Good thing you didn't pee in the bed.
Right? I did not pee in the bed. But yeah, that was... I remember being
Matt
like,
wakes up trying to, like, with his like hand trying to rip his dick off.
come on, I'm hungry. Get off of here.
I want to sleep. You go pee.
I would just take it off and set it by the toilet for the night.
Yeah.
You could just pee.
You weren't worried that it was going to be like Aaron was going to be like Lorena Bobbitt back in the day where she cut that dude's wiener off
Yeah.
and then threw it out the window?
Yeah.
God, that'd be the worst.
Ooh.
Getting your weenie cut off like that?
Like emotionally and physically.
Yeah, she was angry.
So in that book, the show I was talking about, Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, like someone had posted about it on Facebook, and like one of the comments were, "How do you like the giant old man hog ratio in this show?" Because like he just comes out, this old dude he's an old knight, just comes out with a fucking giant hanger and just like pisses like just that. I don't even know why. Like
Gratuitous dick.
and like one of the first scenes, like within like 10 minutes of starting the show, like this guy's like sitting behind a tree, like having the nastiest shit, and you just like they show his ass and they show shit flying out like on the show. Yeah, but it's a good show, but sometimes I'm like, why?
Do we have to have this?
Yeah, it wasn't solid. There was no solid to this shit. So,
Well, they're probably just eating porridge.
yeah,
I don't know what the deal is with all those shows like that are back in that era. It's like just tons of like gratuitous like nudity. Like just a bunch of people getting it on or just wieners everywhere. Like Game of Thrones had a bunch of sex in it. Then somebody just told me there's another series, I can't remember what it's called. Just a bunch of sex in that one. I'm like, these people just fought and had sex. I think that was...
I mean, you didn't have a phone to scroll through.
Yeah, just wieners and yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's a weird way to end it, but Matt took his wiener off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it would be very convenient.
Detachable penis.
Yeah.
Did you do anything else with it when you had it off?
No.
Oh.
Just like took it off and set it on the edge of the toilet while it peed, and then I went into the kitchen.
But you weren't worried about it falling in the toilet?
I don't think so.
Did it have like a little piece of Velcro to hold it on there or something?
It was a dream, dude. You're just sitting there.
It was just sitting there.
I just want to know, did it like finish well, or was it like having to like shake it off a lot?
I think it was a good finish.
Was it like Thing from the Addams Family?
I just came running back. Yeah. Like an inchworm down the hallway, just hopped back up.
A footworm, not an inchworm. You know what I mean? Yeah.
More like a tapeworm.
Maggot.
A little smoky.
Okay, well.
That is the most interesting way we've ended the podcast.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share, follow. We'll see you later.